for, and yet one of the arms is visible behind my arms and the other one isn't. It bothers me. Why?
I think the last 3 podcasts that we've started, it started out with you complaining about something or talking
That's
about
kind of the
something.
point. I tried to do it with the whole beard thing, but I forgot the intro plays.
Yeah, the intro plays. Anyways, hello
Because what
everybody.
I said was, wow. I touch it and I'm like, whoa. It's a good size and consistency and length. But I was talking about my beard. See, I thought it might be funny because it could be misconstrued that I was talking about like my arm or some other ligament.
Okay, yeah. No, actually, that would have worked out really well, but
Yeah, see?
yeah.
But you fucked it up with your stupid intro that we
Well,
don't need.
I'm sorry.
We should
Okay.
just scrap the intro and just make it my face and just complain about something.
Do like yeah?
Or,
I like
or
that.
have some observation.
Okay. Anyways, hello everybody, and welcome to the One Trick Hero podcast. It is me, your host A, Paxfos, and host B. With me today is Voxia.
Or commonly known, the hostess with the mostest.
The hostess with the mostest is Voxia, and Fish is still MIA. Probably gonna be for another few episodes.
Still out fishing.
Dude,
he's playing hooky.
Yeah, he's playing hooky on the podcast. The title, in case the irony, or not the irony, what is it? In case the joke is lost on anybody, the title of this stream is a joke referencing a statement made by
Wizard Hyun, coach of Nixel, in his latest interview.
Yeah, can you read that real quick? Actually, because I actually haven't.
You want me to read the whole thing?
Well,
like
no, but article? Like in reference to what the title said. Yeah.
His quote in the title is, "I don't really care about this stage personally," and he says the article goes into detail, which it's an ESPN article if you want to look for it. But he says basically he cares less about the winning each matchup of the stage at this point, and they're more concerned about the welfare of their players. So, they want to make sure they're as strong as possible, both mentally and like practice-wise and physically, going for the actual finals.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, they still spanked Philly earlier 4-0. So
yeah,
it's not like he's using that and they're gonna play worse. It's just that if they do end up losing a matchup or two, they're not really too concerned about that.
Well, I think
at this point they don't need to be.
I think some people are just shocked to hear that. Well, not really shocked, but like some people are. It's kind of, it sounds almost pretentious because it's like, oh, you're just so good that you just don't care. But it's like,
yeah.
I mean, you can take it out of context.
They say in the article, the interviewer said how it came across as confident when he said it, not conceited.
Right. Which, I mean, the whole team comes across like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even on times when
they go into that in the article,
yeah,
like how they all come across as like silently confident, but not like cocky and shit.
Well, and that's just kind of, you can see that even when they're trying out different strategies and they're messing with the lineup and stuff like that. Whenever they feel like they can do that, even in those times, they still look really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's Nixel. What else you got to say? They've lost 3 games.
Yeah, well, 3 matches.
What?
They've lost more than
3
games.
3 matches. God, you corrected me on this like 4 podcasts ago.
Well, they even at the bottom of the thing when it's showing the maps, it says game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4. I just don't like that they don't consistently call those games and the overall thing a series, because it's not confusing. It's just annoying to me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Fix your shit, Overwatch League.
Speaking of fix your shit, you think Shanghai is going to get it together and win this matchup versus Seoul?
No, I wish they would, but I don't think they will.
No, it seems like the hope's kind of dying, which I feel, because I mean, what we're edging the end of stage 4 here. How much we got left?
Yeah.
We're at week 3, so we only have 2 more weeks of regular Overwatch.
For them to get it, I hope they can get at least 1 victory. That shit is gonna be insane if they do. I wouldn't even care if it's Nixel. I honestly wouldn't. Like, I love Nixel so much, but at the same time, whenever they do play Shanghai, I'm almost secretly rooting for. But then that's true for any team. Anytime any team I like play Shanghai. I'm still kind of secretly rooting for them to win, just because it would be so momentous for the players and the org, and
Oh
just the
yeah.
memes would be, especially if Nixel, the best team, lost to them, at least best as far as score goes versus
Right.
worst as far as score goes. The memes would be incredible. It's almost like a rite of passage in a lot of other. I don't even think it's just esports, like sports leagues. A lot of times, the best team ends up losing to the worst team somehow, and then
Yeah.
everybody just loses their damn minds.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of have yet to see the. Oh, for some odd reason, our frame rate dropped. Okay, never mind. Back to it.
What?
We have
Got
no,
another bat?
no,
They gotta fix that.
no, not bad. No, my bit rate has been really variable as far as streaming lately, and I'm not sure what's going on. I might need to. I think honestly, I just need a better
Might need to call your
router.
internet
Well, I need a
company
better
or something.
router. The router
When's
that
the last
I.
time you restarted it?
It's been a minute.
Have
Well-
you flushed your DNS anytime recently?
Mm-hmm. No, it's the router. I need a new router. The router that they give you, because I just wanted to save money. The router they gave me is like okay, it's good enough for like basic,
Yeah.
but it's not a good router, you know.
Mm-hmm.
For Kane's Con, we'll probably run a KVM switch off it. Honestly,
Oh yeah, that's right.
if I
still
don't
know
get
what that is.
if I don't get a new if I don't get it, I might get a new router at that point. Who knows?
I don't know why. I guess the KB and KBM remind me of keyboard, and it reminded me of a post on Reddit I was reading this morning about it, like for PCMR. It was a giveaway for a keyboard, and the keyboard was a 10 keyless. And there was people in the comments like, "Looks suspicious. It doesn't even have a numpad." And I'm just like, "What fucking world do you live in where you don't understand or know that there's such thing as a 10 keyless keyboard?" And then there were so many people in the comments who were like, "This keyboard would suck for me because I use a numpad all the time." I'm like, "What the hell?" I
Who
got a 10
uses
keyless 'cause
numpad all the
yeah.
time?
Well, Andrew does. Andrew uses it, and I don't know what
Well-
they use it for. I bought a 10 keyless keyboard to give myself more room for my mouse pad, as you know, because I never ever used a numpad. The only time I ever used a numpad on a keyboard was when I consciously was like, I never use this. I'm gonna press the keys for fun. That was legit the only time I ever used it. I don't
mean,
understand.
And the only time I've ever used num in military when we're entering our passcode.
Yeah,
That's about it. Like,
but that doesn't even count because that
Yeah.
wasn't a personal computer use.
well, yeah. I mean, in personal,
At least it doesn't
never.
count to me.
I mean, the only time
Yeah.
the only time I'd use it is if I was like a statistics major and I was sat there slamming numbers in Excel or something every day. I don't know.
Well, some people
Maybe.
mention like CS:GO keybinds and stuff, but I think
For
it's
gaming,
just as
it's ridiculous in my opinion.
It's just as easy to hit the numerical row above QWERT. I think. I don't understand, at least for me.
Yeah.
And I have short, stubby fingers. I can use keybinds with those. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get
Plus,
it
with
either.
CS:GO, you'd be better off doing like we do and just giving yourself more mouse space.
Oh
So you
yeah.
have more freedom of movement.
You're
But,
honestly when it
nah,
comes to
gotta
any kind of first person shooter or anything where you have to target anything, using your arm, having a mouse pad real estate, and having an appropriate sensitivity for your DPI is way more important than having a numpad or macro side buttons or something like that. You
Yeah,
know, that's
or at least that's the philosophy of thought we subscribe to.
well, I think we subscribe to the proper philosophy of thought.
I do. If I didn't think it was the proper one, I wouldn't subscribe to it.
That's correct. I would feel the same way.
I said subscribe. I would
Subscribe.
subscribe to that shit,
would-
yo.
I would subscribe.
Subscribe.
Oh man. So I was I saw this video. And it was just posted on Reddit a little bit ago, but I
They
saw
might
this
actually hold them.
on this
Yeah, go ahead and
defense
talk
right
about
here.
the video. Yeah.
Oh, actually, you might be right. Hold on. It's at overtime. Oh man. Well, yeah, all of Seoul's down right now. Oh, they've got this. They've got this defense. Yeah. Cookie's
Oh, it's
going
Kookie
down.
playing.
Yeah, no, Cookie's he's not gonna there's
I
no
love
way.
when Cookie plays.
Wow,
I was.
good D. Good D.
I kind of would love for Cookie to go to a team that would use him as like a main tank. I just like the guy's just so damn likable, and I feel like he's better than a lot of. I feel like he would be better on a team that played with him more, if
See,
that makes sense.
That actually brings up an interesting point. Do you think it's better for the league to have the big talent on like certain teams, and then the rest of the teams just need to be able to like either play up to that point or get more people within the next signing period or before the next season to kind of challenge that? Or do you think diversifying the pool and sending putting like Kookie or I don't know somebody from Nixel or somebody and kind of just distributing them out more evenly to other teams? What do you
I
think's
think-
better for
I-
the scene in the long run?
I think talent being more evenly distributed across teams is better because it makes it, in theory, it should make the teams more competitive because each have a relatively good amount of talent to compete with the other. However, I don't think that should be forced by Blizzard or anything like that. I don't think
Well,
that they
yeah,
should.
that'd be
If, like,
ridiculous.
for instance, if Nixel continues to be undefeated or whatever, I don't think they should be like, all right, you guys are too good. Let's take some of your players and move them somewhere else. That's not really fair to the team because part
No,
of the reason they got that good is
no,
because
not
they
at
learned
all.
how to work together and work around it. But that's why a draft sort of thing, like they have in professional sports, I think would be a good thing for a league like Overwatch. But isn't there? I forget what the legal issues are that prevent that from
It
happening. Oh, no,
require
wait, there can't be a draft until there's a union,
a players' union,
and
exactly.
it can't have a player. And if I remember correctly, the reason it's something to do with like the reason the union and league isn't a real like union is because there's something else that it can't be there can't be an official union until it's recognized as a certain thing, and it's not actually recognized as that thing
Like
yet. I
in a
think it's
court of
something
law,
like
it
that.
needs to be recognized as something.
I can't remember. Something about like how esports, sometimes there's work visa issues just because it's not like the government doesn't have protections for it as a real job.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know if that's the reason, but I think if I remember correctly, it was like a year ago when all this news came out, so I'm kind of fuzzy, but I think there was some sort of strange legal thing that made it so they couldn't have a real union, and since they can't have a real union in any of these sports at the moment, we can't have a draft. Plus, a draft wouldn't really. Well, I guess it is a franchise league now, so a draft could work in league, but yeah, I think a
Yeah,
draft for
no,
Overwatch League would be interesting.
I think a draft would work, but the legal implications of it, and the other problem with getting that together is also trying to figure out a way to, even if you could legally get through it, at least for Overwatch's sake, is finding a way to fund it, because
Yeah.
having a players union, it can't be funded by the company, and it's kind of odd in this case because the game that they're playing, the sport that they're playing, is owned by a corporation, and so the players union would have to be funded not by the corporation, because then that's conflict of interest.
Hmm.
But it, I don't know. So
Yeah. So who would fund
where's
it?
that going to come from? How's that going to it's
Well, if
definitely
I were a
odd.
multi-billionaire, I would certainly fund it. However, I am not a multi-billionaire.
No, no,
And
and
and though I think the world is much worse off for that. I
dude, if
think
you're
if
a
I were a
multi
billionaire, I think if I was a multi-billionaire, the world would be a better place.
yes, and then you wouldn't be a multi-billionaire for very long.
Yeah.
You give it
No,
all
I would.
away. You're a
I
giving
wouldn't give
person.
it all away.
You're a giving
I
person,
am giving,
Vox.
but I mostly give it to people I trust, and then I'd have investments. But I would see. I've always made that. It's like that rule I made. Whenever I made some dumb purchase, like if I just bought a vase for like $40,000 just because I could, I'd then donate like $40,000 to a charity I would limit myself in my spending of ridiculousness, but also make it not just, like if
Right.
something good happens for me, I kind of spread it. But you're right. I probably wouldn't be a billionaire for too long. It's like, where'd all my money go? Yeah, and then you're just like, you were drunk last night and burning in your backyard because you hate money. And I was like,
You're
oh shit,
burning
that's
your
right.
money in the backyard.
Whoops. Yeah, I learned it from SpongeBob.
Oh my god.
That's how I thought. I mean, shouldn't that be a law? That should be a law, right? Anytime any business gets so successful that they have too much money laying around, they should just have to burn it.
Well, you and I discussed this a long time ago. $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, Blizzard, for example,
Yeah.
is perfect. If
Yeah.
they've got more than they've already made $1 million.
Once you make $1 million,
Why don't they
that's
just burn
it.
the rest?
That's too much
What
money.
the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I subscribe to the redistribution principle
Look,
of the
think
political
think
scale.
about this. This I think this is a good time to bring up a whole different issue, right?
Okay.
All right, we're messing with the environment by burning like non-clean energy, like oil or like gas and aerosol from aerosol cans and all these things, right? That are not necessarily naturally occurring in the atmosphere. We're putting those in the atmosphere, right? So I think the solution is we just burn a shit ton of trees, so we put more natural stuff in it, interact it, right?
Yeah. I
I mean-
think that's a good, yeah. Well, if it makes sense. I get where you're going with this. If we
Checkmate, scientists.
Oh man. We should have
So money, and well, my point was that money is made from paper, which is made from trees. So
Giving
burning
back to-
money should be good for
giving
the
back,
environment,
yeah, you're
right?
giving back to the environment. Makes sense.
Plus, if we do actually live in some sort of weird pagan reality, maybe the gods would appreciate money being burned in their honor,
If I was
even if we're not burning it in their honor originally.
if I was a god and you were burning your money in my honor, I wouldn't think anything of it because I don't care about you because you're not as good as I am. So,
If I were God, I would be pompous as shit.
dude, honestly, I've thought about that. It's like if I was God, I'd be a terrible God because I'd literally, I would go back
Yeah.
to my heavenly mansion and go back to playing video games and ignore the cries of and prayers of.
I'm pretty sure I
trans
would have
people.
I would have given up. Like I would have been like, "What the fuck, guys? I gave you all the things you needed to just be chill, and you
Right?
won't. Like I'm done. Like any amount of me forcing your hand just won't work because you got to learn for yourself. So I just be like, you know what? I'm gonna go start a different planet somewhere else.
Just completely.
Yeah,
You just
my
go over
own
to the.
planet
You'll
with
go to
blackjack and
file.
hookers.
Go to file. Hit new. It goes. Are you sure you want to discard your changes? Hit yes.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, this part of the universe is lame.
Oh man.
I just make up a planet where everyone is Donald Glover.
That sounds like a pretty. Oh, by the way, did you see the new
Yeah.
Star Wars?
Yeah, of course I did. I
Oh.
saw it on Friday.
I haven't seen it yet. Was it good?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I liked it more than The Last Jedi.
That's what Tiz said as well. He said he liked it
Oh,
a lot.
he saw it?
He said he
Yeah,
liked it a
I liked
lot.
it.
He actually said he liked it more than Last Jedi and Force Awakens too.
I don't know. It's hard for me to I don't know if I do. It's hard for me to say that I like one Star Wars more than any other
Well,
than
yeah.
the fact that I like The Last Jedi the least, but I still like it because of Star Wars, you know?
Yeah.
I kind of try to separate them. Like my favorite of the original trilogy is probably Empire Strikes Back, and as far as the newer ones go, at least as far as all the movie, if you like, just because the original trilogy, I mean, yeah, nostalgia and rose-tinted glasses, but there's something so special about it that just sets it aside from anything else, I think. But like, if you take all the other ones, my favorite is probably Rogue One.
Rogue One was really good.
But
It
I
was
did
really good,
really
yeah.
like Force. I mean, I would say I probably like Solo and The Force Awakens equally. Just like they're good. They're both different style because one's a one-off, the other's the beginning of a trilogy, so they're different because they're different styles. But I think
Yeah.
they both executed well. Rogue One is just, man, that movie's fantastic.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Yeah, I haven't seen Solo yet because I've been busy. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll be in theaters for longer than some other movies. So,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
but get to it when you can. It's definitely worth the ticket price.
Speaking of ticket prices, there's I think they're down to 500 left to go to Barclay for the Overwatch League
Why,
grand
you wanna go?
finals. Oh man, I would love to go. I do
I
not
would
have
love
I do not have the
to.
money or the
But-
time to take a trip to New York for that specifically, but man,
I
that
could
would
have
be
maybe done it if I didn't have to replace my car.
yeah.
But I probably still
Yeah.
wouldn't have. Just because the thing about it is I don't really like to travel places, and like I generally only travel places where I have somebody I know who I can stay with, like a friend. I don't have any friends that live in New York because hotel
Right.
rates and okay, some hotels the rates go down and you get a good price for the. Well, actually, no. I don't like to solo travel somewhere if I have to pay for a hotel because it's really, I don't know. It's a huge expense most of the time.
It really is
Unless
yeah.
you spend you cheap out, but if you cheap out, you're gonna be like on the outskirts, and then you're gonna have to pay a shit ton for like Ubers or whatever. So, it's just if I had a group of like 3-4 people like we do when we go to QuakeCon or whatever to split the cost of the hotel, then it's something that's more manageable. But for me to just go to New York and pay for a hotel for myself for the finals, it's just not very
Yeah.
financially responsible. I don't think. Though
Well,
I'd love to see it.
It's not financially responsible, and honestly, those types of things are obviously better done with friends. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, if you were like super into this, I mean, yeah, I mean, you and I are. I mean, we're really into Overwatch League, but it's still one of those things where you just assume.
Speaking of being in a person, something that I think about probably way more frequently than I should. One of those things that just constantly, well, not constantly, but randomly pops in my head from time to time, every few days or so.
Yeah.
I think about, if/when I move to LA, more likely when, or the LA area rather.
You'll immediately
Like,
be a Valiant fan.
I could go, no, yeah, definitely. Go green.
Go
Go green
green.
and gold.
Hell no.
Whatever. I don't even know what is it? I don't know what their like catchphrase is. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
It's probably meh.
Meh. Like fly high is no, aces high is the
That's
Spitfire.
London, yeah. And then Shield.
then
I like
so-
Shields Up. Shields Up is good.
yeah, Shields Up I think is my favorite one.
Probably
Just
mine
because
too. Actually,
It works. It's cool by itself and it works super well as a chant.
Yeah,
Shields Up like it's fucking hype as shit.
it is. It is. Boss.
It's a bit weird on offense though.
Boston
But
up is
but
like,
not
okay.
necessarily.
Or
You
right.
like throw your shield up and then charge forward. So Boston's is cool too.
Well, I thought Boston's was rise up.
It is. I
Is
thought.
it rise up?
Is it not?
Hold
Yeah,
on.
I thought it was rise up.
Because I thought I remember seeing someone say that it was Boston up, and then that to me is stupid.
Well, I've heard people say rise up.
Maybe it is. Well, rise up is good. I like that one.
That's a good. Okay, I don't remember what series it was. That is a really good term, but somehow the fans in the audience that were saying rise up were annoying me. Like the last time a buzz ran, it wasn't the rise up. It was just like those fans in particular were saying it in a way that bothered me for some reason. I can't figure it out. It's probably just because they were playing a team I wanted to win more than Boston, but
Yeah.
you know.
And what?
But I was just like, how do you take a cool chant and make it sound weird?
How does what is?
Oh,
Shane...
this thought. Remember this thought I was getting into? Hold on, just to completely derail this shit again. So this thought I have, right? When I go to LA and I could go to Overwatch League games, right?
Okay.
I'm thinking like, oh, like on days that Gladiators play, I could do like a whole like fun, just because it's easier to, it's not like I wouldn't do it with Nixel, I just don't know what the hell I would theme it as. But Gladiators, I could just dress up like a gladiator, right? Like I could just get like a gladiator costume and paint it like purple and dress it up. But then I'm thinking Blizzard probably wouldn't allow it because no proper gladiator costume has anything that covers your nipples. So I'd have to like, so I couldn't do it. And even if they would let me be like kind of shirtless there, it probably wouldn't fly on Twitch because they wouldn't be able to show me on the camera. And so I'm just like, damn it, dude! I could just have one of those like
male,
some like
well, it's
some
funny.
cross piece.
It's
fucking.
It's really funny that male nipples are not allowed on Twitch, but Hanzo literally is a hero in Overwatch League with an exposed nipple.
Wow. I don't think Twitch has realized that. They got to ban
Overwatch League.
And Overwatch.
Well, that's it. Kind of segues into that conversation. There's been some. There's been like for instance, Philadelphia Fusion's university team. With
the FU thing.
The FU like that,
yeah,
like they're like stuff like that. To me, is just honestly ridiculous.
Like Blizzard being like.
It's like hyper PC. I don't like it.
Yeah, you don't have to be hyper PC. Like Riot has gotten big media attention and big sponsorship attention, and they're not hyper PC. They try to they try to minimize the amount that like for instance, casters and analysts. I don't think they ever really cuss, and they've not made a big deal out of it when it's happened a few times, but it's just kind of more hush. But the players, like, they'll play player comms, and half the time they'll just be like, man, we fucking wrecked them and stuff, just straight up. Or they're like one of them, one player said in reference to another player that he had just solo killed in his lane, he's my fucking bitch or something. And they just played that comm live, and it was like funny because you could see on their faces like, oh shit, I didn't expect them to say that. But
I don't mind Overwatch League not. Like, I don't mind them cleaning it up a little bit, like no cussing for casters and stuff like that. I'm fine with that, whatever.
That makes sense.
But like things like FU or like nipples or something like come on, man.
Well, nipples is a Twitch thing, not Blizzard.
Well,
obviously, Blizzard doesn't care. They keep designing heroes with their nipples out. Doomfist, Hanzo.
Yeah, but I mean, it's along that same streamline. It's along that same line of thought that Blizzard's going through, and I'm.
Wait, does Genji Blackwatch can have a nipple out? I can't remember.
Oh my god, does he? Hold on. I'm looking it up. This is Genji Blackwatch.
Because I thought both the Shimada brothers
Blackwatch
have a
nipple.
skin where they have a nipple hanging out.
Hold on. Images. Oh, maybe I should have. No. Oh, does it? Hold on.
I don't know why I can't recall.
Let's see here. No, it does not. Nipple's barely covered.
Wow. I'm not even sure if Genji has nipples.
There's a lot of fan art, though, with the nip, though.
Yeah. Oh, that must have been what I saw.
Yeah, a lot of fan art wanting to throw that nip right in there. Hey, it's a podcast. You can't laugh. Ulysses laughing in the background.
Why? All the talk about... She think male nipples are funny? They're not useless, okay? In the event of an emergency, male nipples can produce milk. All right, people? They're not irrelevant. They matter.
Irrelevant. Oh my god, man. Ooh, Genji.
It's true, though,
Genji Blackwatch fidget spinners.
Yeah.
I need to get one, man.
Wait. Oh, yeah. So anyway, Yeah, dude, I cannot dress up as a gladiator like in good faith.
Yeah, that's
Just have
unfortunate,
my
dude.
my nipples popping out. That'd be awesome. How awesome would that shit be?
I think it'd be pretty cool. I'd be entertained if I was
Yeah.
watching the stream and I saw your nips just flash across the screen real quick. Stop laughing.
Maybe if I painted myself purple, it wouldn't count. Like if I painted my whole torso purple. So they were out, but they were just a purple mass.
Dude, just get some little purple pasties, man.
Oh man, I should. Oh wait, don't they sell stickers? They
Oh
sell
my
stickers,
God.
right? I could just put Gladiator's logo and stickers over my nipples like pasties.
Just
Oh yeah,
just
that's
put
what I gotta
one,
do.
Put one with like the lion's head logo, and the other one said "Shields Up" on your nipple.
Oh man. Oh, I 100%. That's got to be a promise to you and I, mostly to myself, that I'll do that.
All right,
When
all right.
I'll go to Gladiators, like, or especially if it's like
Overwatch
maybe
League.
if they make it to like a good playoffs spot or something.
For
I'll
anybody
come to
listening to
playoffs
this
like that.
podcast right now, next year, when season starts, be looking in the audience. When season 2 starts, be looking in the audience. You might see Voxia
I don't know if I'll be there that soon.
with
but
shields
hopefully.
up, nip slip.
That'd be cool.
A whole year from
Shields
now.
up, yep. So.
A whole year from
What the
now, you
fuck?
don't think you'll be in LA
Wait. Season 2's not a whole year away, is it?
from this point?
Yeah. When season 1 ends, how long is it before season 2 starts? Is
Well,
it really going to be that long of an off season?
Well, no, it will start in January, but I mean, we're still.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah,
How long of an off season is there?
whenever this ends until January. So this
Wow,
this
really?
goes till August.
That's
Yeah.
nuts. That's actually well for esports anyway. That's really nuts.
Well, yeah, for esports that is crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure they're
okay.
gonna have a longer preseason. I'm sure instead of
GG Blizzard, everybody's gonna forget about Overwatch League and your dumb game
Well,
in the off season.
instead of
gotta
pre-
die.
instead of preseason being short, I think they're gonna lengthen it, and then they're also gonna do like in-house tournaments and stuff. There's gonna be a bunch of other things.
Oh yeah, I forgot there is a preseason in like December, right? So
Yeah, I think it'll be.
It's not that
I
big
think it'll
of a
be
break.
longer than the first one.
and there's also the World Cup.
Yeah, and then there's gonna be contenders and
after
all
the
that
season.
fun jazz. So, we'll definitely have a lot of filler. Don't quote me on that though, but I'm pretty sure they're going with the January start time like they did last time. I could be wrong,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure that's.
I
what
mean, it would
the
make
deal is.
sense.
Yeah. I mean, the last
Interesting.
information I saw was that was the case. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Seoul is up
But-
2-0 over
but-
Shanghai, and the world is in utter shock.
Yeah. But we actually might not get a season 2 because Fortnite's going to take all the viewers away with their esports.
Yeah.
Dude, so I was going to tell you this. I saw a video talking about if Fortnite is going to take away anything from Overwatch League. And they were part of the video was showing Mark Cuban, who's an investor.
Oh yeah, where he said he thinks Overwatch League is failing or something.
Well, no, he said because of Fortnite's rise, it's gonna somehow detract away from Overwatch League, which he might be a very smart investor, but to me that screams he doesn't really understand the video game market or the esports market because
He might be a really smart investor. Well, he certainly is a really smart investor. I think that much can't really be
obviously
argued.
you can't argue
However,
that. Yeah.
However, there are still a lot of people investing in Overwatch League, and
Well,
most assuredly, not all of them are stupid enough to invest in something that's going to fail within a year. So I think it's pretty safe to say
it's not even that.
Still.
It's just going from viewer base. Let's just talk about the average viewer. Like Fortnite and Overwatch League are two completely different games. To me,
Yeah, exactly.
somebody saying something like that is the equivalent of saying, dude, how about them NASCAR? That's gonna take away viewers from that basketball. That's for sure.
Yeah.
As soon as NASCAR gets big, see you later, basketball.
I mean, certainly, for the
Doesn't
sake
make
of
any
argument, there
sense.
are people who watch both and maybe watched a shit ton
Oh,
of NBA
yeah,
and
there's
NASCAR.
always-
Like
yeah.
for instance, I love watching Counter-Strike, but I've hardly been watching Counter-Strike since Overwatch League came out,
Well-
just because
well,
I've
yeah.
just not had the energy to pay attention
There's-
to that much stuff.
There's
but-
always going to be a small percentage.
But
For instance, if
as
there
far
was
as
only
like a mass exodus of viewership,
That's
switching
ridiculous.
from one to the other, that doesn't really
well,
happen.
let's say the only sport there was in America was football. There's nothing else. Well, then, yeah,
Oh,
that's gonna.
God.
Well, let's just imagine that's what it was. There'd be a fuck ton of
God.
viewers. But now, there's
That's like one level of my personal hell, I think.
okay, but so anyways, but obviously you have tons of viewership, and if you made more sports, like you all of a sudden created basketball, golf, and all this other shit, and you threw it in there, yeah, your viewership's going to decline on football. But the problem is you're not trying to get the numbers based off of people bored and just want to watch a fucking sport. I'm watching Overwatch League because I care and I enjoy this sport that is Overwatch League. I will probably, whenever Fortnite makes their big league or whatever, I'll probably watch that too. But that's not.
Yeah, I'm sure I will.
That's not detracting from the
fact
fact
I probably
that
won't watch it as much as I probably won't care about it as much as Overwatch League because well, it's weird. If you look at my playtime, it would say otherwise. But even though I've hardly played Overwatch, well, neither of us have really played it that much lately because of reasons.
Yeah,
However, I still care about Overwatch as a game more than I do Fortnite.
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's just
here.
Fortnite is easier to just kind of jump in at the last minute for a round or two at night than Overwatch is. Unless we just want to like quick play or TDM, but they keep fucking taking TDM out of the goddamn map pool.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. I don't know, a week ago or something. I was like, I'm pop on, just play some team deathmatch while I listen to music tonight. I go in, I go to the menu, arcade, no TDM.
How would you like some Mystery Heroes again?
Yeah, it was actually. I'm pretty sure it was Mystery Heroes, and I was just like. You know, like the fucking John Travolta thing, full picture. I'm just like, where's TDM? And then I just sat there at the main menu for like 5 minutes and was like,
yep.
I love Overwatch, but no, I don't have, I don't have the mental capacity right now to even care about objectives enough to play quick play. I just want to kill people, so I just didn't play it.
Yeah, and there's something to be said. Battle royale genres are definitely popular right now for a reason, and they really are fitting.
One of the reasons is because it's easy to pop in and out.
And that being said, but and I will always love Overwatch. It's absolutely one of my, if not my top favorite games, period, across the board. It came at the perfect time in my life too. I love this game, but I actually really just love the esport too, and I really care about it, and so I'm gonna keep watching it like that. And so, but going back to the video, I think that's just a ridiculous statement to make, or to even an assumption. Say what?
Flood is back.
Oh yeah, fine.
He stepped back in for Munchkin.
Yeah, I feel bad that
why
Shanghai's not Shanghai. Blah, 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 Seoul Dynasty has been hobbling along when they have such amazing talent, such as Ryo Jae Hong and Fleta.
Yeah, well, hang on. We can talk on that after you finish your previous point.
Okay, but anyways, what I was saying is I just think that's a ridiculous point to make, and I don't think anybody should be worried or even thinking about it because, like I said, it's a completely different thing. Now, let's say Team Fortress 2 all of a sudden got massive and they did a huge update and it's crazy amazing now and everything's... Well, I mean, it's always been good, but let's just say there's another game exactly like Overwatch that's, let's say Paladins for some odd reason became the premier thing.
Lawbreakers!
Yeah, Lawbreakers. But, if that happened...
12 players on Steam, whoa!
But, okay, so, if that happened, then you might be like, okay, well, what's going to be the future of Overwatch League? Because this is clearly... That'd be like, for instance, if, if NBA is popular right now, but for some reason... X and XBA or some other
NWA
or something.
Somehow everybody collectively was like, I'd rather watch women play basketball. That's not supposed to be a sexist joke. It's just
I get it. Yeah,
NWA isn't
let's just say
NWBA, right?
Whatever it is, I don't know.
Yeah, National Women's Basketball Association. NWBA, not NWA. That's something else. NWBA.
Women's basketball with attitude.
It's just not. It just doesn't have as much viewers as the NBA.
But let's say that all of a sudden was becoming massively popular and it's starting to rival the viewership of NBA. Well then, okay, that's a time for you to start bringing up some questions okay, what does
NBA need to do to attract viewers back?
Well, exactly. But we're talking about literally the difference between NASCAR or golf and basketball or something.
There's a lot of people who play Fortnite don't play Overwatch and vice versa.
It's the only thing they have in common is you shoot things, and it's a video game. That's about all they have in common. I mean, we're talking about a team-based objective game with...
Well, they both got them hentai graphics.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. It's not realistic. It's not realistic!
Wait, I can't remember. Was that a thing you saw somewhere, or was that a joke we all just made?
No,
when
that
we were
was an
talking about
actual
how-
comment. Okay, so it was a PUBG.
I thought it was a real comment.
No, it was a PUBG versus Fortnite post on Facebook or some shit like that, and someone was like, "Well, I tried out the Fortnite, and it was really cool if you're interested in hentai or anime
Hentai.
shit." It was like, but I prefer to stick to
that's
realistic graphics, like PUBG.
Yeah, because PUBG's so realistic.
Stupid
Oh,
man.
man.
Bro,
That
did you
shit is
hear
funny
that
as fuck.
PUBG is suing Epic Games
Yeah, I've
now?
heard
Like
that.
legally, like it's out in the blue.
Yeah.
Like, good lord, how fucking petty do you need to be,
Did you
man?
see? Did you see about how they how the last developer that tried to do that was using Unreal Engine fared?
No, when
There
was
was
that?
I think
When was that?
they're called Silver Knight or something. They developed Legacy of Kain, and then another game they were known for was Too Human. Neither of games. I know Legacy of Kain is considered really good, but I haven't played it. And Too Human I didn't play either, but it was like Too Human at least was around the Xbox One area. And if I remember correctly, what had happened is they got pissy at Epic because they thought they were purposefully like I don't know. They thought they were purposely doing something Unreal to like fuck them over. They're like their updates to Unreal were too slow, so they said it was like fucking with their game design or something. Anyway, I don't remember what the actual reason is, but the reason I bring it up is because the company that tried to sue Epic and was using Unreal Engine last time, they went bankrupt because Unreal won the case so hard that
Well,
yeah, they floundered.
It's so stupid.
I'm not saying that'll happen at Bluehole. They are worth more than that other company was, but it's just dumb. You're using their platform. Why are you gonna bite? Why are you gonna bite the hand that feeds you? What if you piss off on Epic and they just go, okay, you can't use Unreal Engine, and PUBG is just not gonna know what to do.
They're just being petty as fuck because their game
really
runs
are.
their game runs like fucking asshole, and another game popped in and it did everything but better.
Nah, dude. PlayerUnknown invented the battle royale genre. Okay,
Whatever. Who
It
cares?
totally
cares?
didn't exist as
You
a
can't
mode in like H1Z1 before that,
you
and a
can't
mode in like
copyright you can't copyright mechanics. You can't copyright mechanics. You can't
There's
copyright
actually-
mechanics.
there's actually legal precedent for stuff like that, at
can't
least
do
in other zones of like stuff. So yeah, because it's dumb, it sets back progress. That's like
It's
if somebody
stupid.
patented the ability to filter pools. You can patent a certain type of pool filter, but you can't patent the ability to filter pools.
What
That's
you
stupid.
patent is name, like style,
Yeah, specific- or a
your
specific
assets, stuff
type
like
of
that.
engineering.
Not like you can't like you can patent your GE designed and looking light bulb. You can't patent the fact that there's fucking light bulbs,
Light coming out of
like
it, yeah.
light
It
emitting
doesn't,
shit.
doesn't work that way.
It's ridiculous.
But no, but not even just H1Z1, right? There was others, and then before that, Battle Royale was literally a mod in Arma 2 and 3.
Which was
and
designed
was-
by PlayerUnknown, though. I will say
It
that.
was.
Yeah, but it's
I mean,
it's still ridiculous.
But even before that, Battle Royale.
Royale.
Battle Royale existed as a genre in other types of media, like
Oh, yeah.
books and movies.
Oh well, yeah, that's the other
There's
thing
a
too.
famous Japanese movie and book based on the genre.
Called
It
well,
doesn't-
yeah. There's literally the term battle royale came from the fucking show in Japan.
yeah.
Battle royale.
Well, I don't even know that that was the first use of
Whatever,
battle royale. It might have been
Oh
somewhere
yeah,
else. But
well,
yeah,
the first
the
we
point
know,
is,
I know. Yeah.
the idea of a battle royale style thing has been around for a long fucking time, and
Yep.
you did not invent the idea of PlayerUnknown. And even if you did, you can't copyright an idea.
Yeah, it's
That's
well,
stupid.
that part's
And-
ridiculous, but also can I just stress how fucking terrible that game is? I was our friend, a mutual friend of ours, Xtrid, was streaming. He was
extra.
Yeah, and he was streaming PUBG, and I jumped in real quick, and I was like, "Hey, what's going on, man?" And I was just watching his stream, and then he was saying something, and it was kind of like it wasn't like the timing wasn't syncing up right. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And then come to find out, his stream was lagging 13 minutes behind
What?
from what was actually going on.
13 minutes.
Yeah, so he stops the stream, he drags me in his Discord, and he was like, "Hey, so yeah, I can't stream right now because I'm playing PUBG." And I was like, "Well, okay. I was like, what? Why? And he goes, well, there's the latest update made it so PUBG uses 100% of my CPU. I was like, are you kidding me?
Wow! Holy shit!
A fucking 100? Like, that's stupid.
I do enjoy PUBG for some reasons. Like,
it is
I do
definitely
enjoy PUBG. It's different than Fortnite. I enjoy both for different reasons. But objectively speaking, it definitely does not run well, especially compared to Fortnite.
Well, and the other thing is, I don't understand why PUBG is scared of losing its player base. Well, first of all, just fix your fucking game, dude. Okay, just fix your fucking game. Tons of people will stick with your game if it fucking works. Yeah. First,
it has actually been losing a lot of players on Steam, though.
Well, yeah, okay,
That's
so
why
yeah,
they've been dropping players like crazy.
Well,
apparently,
first, fix your game. Second, maybe you're never going to lose as long as your game works okay. You're not going to lose people because there's always going to be people that prefer that realistic type military feel to cartoony goofy shit. There's always going to be people that prefer that, so you're going to always have a player base.
And what's more realistic than running around with a welder's helmet and a frying pan on your ass?
Yeah, I say realistic with the heaviest of sarcastic quotes on it. Like, it's fucking dumb shit, man. But anyways, I know this is an Overwatch League podcast, but it's something I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
And it was,
another thing they did? I didn't even know about this till I was reading. Apparently, they actually tried to sue a mobile game. I don't know what the name of the game was, but it's a battle royale mobile game. They tried to sue them. Over the fact that they had a weapon in the game that was a rubber chicken, and they said it was referencing the fact that PUBG uses the term winner chicken dinner, despite the fact that winner chicken dinner was a term, has been a term for a long time, and the fact that it was a term that is known by a lot of people is the reason PUBG used it and expanded on it.
Well,
it's just really
okay. So the mobile game they were going after was clearly just an asset grab. Like the mobile game, I saw what it was. It was clearly just basically just trying to be as little.
Have you tried these Sour Patch Kid Fire Nights yet?
I'm watching that commercial right now. Yeah, I haven't.
Well,
tried
yeah, it's
them
on
yet.
Overwatch League.
Yeah.
I want to try them.
Yeah, they do look pretty good. Yeah.
I'm a corporate shill.
By the way, buy some Sour Patch Kids. Overwatch League.
Yeah, and drive a Toyota.
No, basically the mobile game was just an asset flip, basically. But the fact that they went after them legally wasn't a big deal. Although they're probably not going to get any money out of it because it's a cheap. The developer's just going to scrap it and bounce and just rebrand.
Where's the developer pays? Yeah, so that's not.
But anyways,
but
the fact is they sued them on the dumbest shit, like hey, you had a frying pan, you can't have a frying pan. It's like, what? Like, why can't you have a frying? Like, a frying pan's not unique to your fucking game, player unknown.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? Guess where frying pans have also been before your game? Team Fortress 2.
Well,
it came into Team Fortress 2 from an event with either Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2 because it was a weapon in that game, a melee weapon in a fucking shooting game. Wow.
It's ridiculous. That'd be like our podcast, and then somebody else makes an Overwatch League podcast and they start talking about things, and then we're just like, you can't do that. We talk about Overwatch League and that's unique to us.
It almost be like if we tried to sue Blizzard. Remember how we kept saying things in the analysis, and then the Overwatch League, the analyst would say
how
we seem to catch on it. So we sue them.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
The creator of the content that allowed us to do this in the first place, pretty much, which is kind of similar to the situation with how PUBG uses Unreal Engine and shit, right? So.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It'd be like us, just trying to sue them because, we said that first. We said it first.
Fucking dumb, man. Seriously,
we might even have more of a case than PUBG does.
Well, I fully expect them to fall flat on their face when it comes to this lawsuit, but Jesus, man.
I just wonder how far Epic's going to go with it.
I'm sure Epic's salivating right now, because it's not like they're any short of money because they have the most popular game in the world right now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they've got money. They can do whatever. They don't care. They don't give a shit.
Maybe they'll, get Bluehole for all they're worth and then just.
Well, and also I
some money.
I have a tiny bit. I have a tiny bit of a deal with Bluehole because they took what was supposed to be a really awesome MMO and just kind of flushed it down the drain.
Wait,
Terra.
I don't know what you're referencing.
Terra.
Terra? Wait, Bluehole developed Terra?
Yeah. It
I
pissed
didn't
me off
know that. No
Terra,
wonder they both run so crappily.
no, because Terra is a great game, but it suffers the same shit as PUBG.
Terra's
Zero
pretty cool.
content and fucking runs miserably because it's not
Yeah.
optimized and they refuse to do any fucking work on
I
it.
thought Terra was interesting because the combat was fun. The classes were kind of unique. Well, maybe not unique. Maybe unique's too strong a word, but they were different. They weren't just the same cookie cutter classes from every MMO.
Yeah.
And the races were also similar in that.
When it came out,
respect.
Yeah, when it came out, it was definitely extremely unique. There was not another MMO like it. The closest thing was Guild Wars 2, but even then, it was super unique, and it had the opportunity to get really big. But kind of like what PUBG's doing to its player base right now, it's just throwing down the drain, you know.
Yeah.
So
I do look fondly on that time we played Terra and leveled those characters in the swimsuits.
Yeah,
that shit was funny.
Oh, that's right. I still have that picture on my desktop.
Yeah, I have it. It's on my external hard drive or something somewhere. So remember my banana bow? With my swim trunks?
Dude. The summer
great.
bow.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we had those swim trunks and that terrible looking like ring hat or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But no, but I do think, and some people are like, dude, everything's a battle royale now. I actually think there's room for another battle royale game.
Sure.
Like
I think it's an easy genre to replicate and put your own spin on.
To improve upon. Because right now, let's take a look at the MMO space. Like, we're kind of full in the MMO space. There's been a 5 billion copies of WoW and improvements on WoW and variations on WoW. Everything's trying to be WoW or better than WoW. But there's been a billion different things, but we've explored a ton of avenues. Now, there's still obviously room for anything, really, but the space is very well occupied in the MMO universe. And then to a
besides
degree,
WoW, there's... I mean,
and
we stopped playing Guild Wars 2, but as far as I know, it's still got decent numbers.
Right.
I would say that the second best MMO... or second most reputable or whatever is
Final Fantasy 14 for sure,
because it's similar enough to WoW that people weren't like, what the hell is all this shit, this isn't an MMO. But it's still different enough to give you a totally different feel when you play it.
But you get what I'm saying. And then the hero shooter with Overwatch, and then the likes of Paladin stuff, a lot of stuff has been filling that space, and we're kind of starting to get like it filled out. And then of course MOBAs have been filled out for a while. Any new MOBA from now on pretty much just crashes because you have to contend with
even like 2 years ago when I saw like something on Steam or somewhere and it was just like a new MOBA coming out, I'm like, why are these developers even
we already have maximum fill of space. Yeah, we have LoL, we have Dota 2, we have Smite, we have all these big names.
Between League and Dota 2 and then Smite's big, but it's still small compared to the other
absolutely.
two. How is an upstart developer expecting to pull enough players from other MOBAs to sustain themselves? I just didn't understand.
And you and I aren't saying don't try it. We're just saying the space is full and it's really hard to get anything going. Battle Royale to me is still fresh, and now everyone gets pissed off. Oh, they're just doing another Battle Royale mode. Yeah, that could be it. Because
the comment thread about the new Fallout has been like, oh, what if it's Battle Royale? I'm like, dude, I don't know. If Bethesda made a Battle Royale and it didn't run on their shitty engine, and it was in the Fallout universe, it could be fun. I would try it. But if it ran on that engine and you're like, FPS was tied to how fast your game runs and shit, obviously that would be a disaster.
You can't blame a developer for trying. I mean, look at this. Epic Games had Fortnite, which was a completely different fucking game, and they saw the Battle Royale genre, and they're like, all right, let's try and do this. And clearly they made something incredibly successful because they actually made a quality product. And that's not the end. There's more quality products to be had out there, so... I say go. I'm excited to see what we're gonna get because we have the the Paladins Battle Royale at some point. I'm assuming Blizzard's gonna be working on one or something. Like Blizzard's doing
perhaps
maybe not. Blizzard's pretty classy, but they might jump in on this. Who knows? And if they do, Blizzard makes a good product, so that I'm sure to be fun. So yeah.
I mean, there was all those leaks and rumors that Blizzard was developing another game anyway, so...
Well, yeah, that's been...
totally out of the idea.
Yeah, it's not...
However, Blizzard doesn't generally tend to dick ride trends like a lot of developers do. They tend to find something that they think is really valuable, and then they expand on it, like RTS with StarCraft or Hero Shooter with Overwatch.
I was going to say, actually, the interesting thing about Overwatch, and what I thought was really cool, and I think really only Blizzard and a handful of other developers can do this, is they actually set a trend. So the concept of hero shooter goes way before Overwatch, but can you think of any it was never popular until Overwatch. Blizzard made it popular. Now the new Call of Duty is here.
Definition of popular.
Well, what I mean is,
in gaming circles, Team Fortress 2 was pretty popular, but not on a mainstream
I meant in pop
level
culture.
Like Overwatch.
Overwatch has affected pop culture. Your run-of-the-mill AAA titles are now switching to hero type class. Fucking Call of Duty 4, Black Ops 4 is gonna have hero classes now. For fuck's sake! Oh yeah, everyone's doing it, man. Paladins had to switch up their format to match up with this. Like they set a trend on something that wasn't previously in the sightline of the public. So Blizzard has the ability to do that. So that, who knows? They might try and revive another genre, like or make their own, or make a battle royale. Blizzard can kind of do whatever the fuck they want. Honestly, they're just really good.
I think my prediction for the next Blizzard game is it's going to be a Candy Crush style game, otherwise known as Bejeweled. That came way before Candy Crush.
Yeah,
to be honest, I always like Bejeweled. I feel like I could still just sit down and play Bejeweled for an hour and not want to die. It's pretty cool.
I play a mobile game I play a mobile game.
I don't advocate playing Candy Crush. That company is owned by a bunch of assholes.
No, seriously, if you liked Bejeweled, though, there's this new game I've been playing on my phone called Sidorica. It was made by the same people that did...
Sidorica?
It's the same people that made Vos, which is a a sound tap game. But this is a puzzle game, a lot like Bejeweled, but it actually has RPG elements, and it's actually a really good game for the phone.
Interesting.
I've been playing. It's very the art style is good. The music is custom made for this. It's got a really good story, good characters. It's really good. It's really, really good.
What's it called? Just
Sidoric.
Link it to
I'll
later.
link it to you later. Yeah, it's really good. I've been playing it whenever before I go to bed for a little bit or something.
Is this podcast sponsored by Sidorica?
No, I wish.
You just somehow knew I would bring up Bejeweled. You're like, I knew I'd have been waiting for this.
No. Wow, we haven't even talked about Overwatch League. Wow, we just...
I know, pretty much. I mean, we said, we got that comment. We've had some decent viewership, even though we haven't only strictly talked about... This one we've talked about Overwatch maybe less than the last two, but...
Yeah.
But we haven't got any negative flack that I know of.
I was telling Tez today, man.
Talking about Overwatch.
I love Overwatch League. And I love watching it and hearing about it and getting dug digged into it. But
Dig Dug.
That's
a game.
It is a game. But I actually just like doing this podcast. I just like talking with you and Fish and just I don't know, it's fun to me.
It is kind of amusing to think that there's people out there that we don't know and probably never will know who choose to listen to us for one reason or another.
Oh, I think we're pretty cool, man.
I didn't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it's amusing. Oh. I don't mean, haha, it's funny. Why would anybody listen to us? I just mean it's amusing. It's neat. It
is, yeah, it is.
I may not fully understand it, but it's neat. I respect it. I respect the distance. I respect your distance.
I think you're pretty neat, but I respect your distance. That's one of my favorite videos of all time, man.
Oh, it's so good.
I quoted that for so long.
Well, I mean, it's Seoul versus Shanghai, which isn't quite as a blowout of a match as it would have been, 2 stages ago. Sadly for Seoul, but there's still, I mean, there's only so much you can go over when it's just, oh man, I really hope Shanghai get it together. I mean, their players continue to look good individually in a lot of different, but they just still aren't there as a team, really.
Yeah, that seems to be the issue.
Understandable.
Yeah, because
not an excuse, but it's understandable.
Well, it's like player to player. You can, especially with the likes of Ado and Giguri and stuff like that, and even Dia, they're all really good players, and they deserve to be an
Fearless has been pretty good.
Oh, and Fearless, yeah, excuse me. Fearless as well. They've all been playing really well in their own right, but it's for some odd reason, the team is just not working as a team. Well, clearly nobody's working as a team as well as Nixel, but especially...
Well, I was going to say, I think it's interesting watching Nixel, there's times where maps are good for Brigitte and they still don't run it just because they don't have to. But they're one of the few, if not the only team that can just be like, nah, we don't care if that's your meta. We're just going to still do what we like. And they're good enough fundamentally to just brute force it pretty much.
Yeah. Speaking of brute force, did you hear that Dallas thinks they're thinks they can take on Nixel with their current.
I
with their roster.
I saw the title of the post where it said they think they're the best team in Overwatch League, which, to be honest, my first reaction was trying to giggle a little bit. My second reaction is, yeah, it's funny, but it's also like, to be fair, in a competitive environment, every team should think they're the best team. They shouldn't let it become an issue that prevents them from having healthy practice habits. But they should all have that kind of confidence that they are the best team. They just haven't had a real chance to show it. You know what I mean? Because it sounds counterproductive mentally, but how are you ever going to be a top competitor at anything if you don't have that kind of confidence in yourself?
Well, in that, yeah, that's true. But like,
so I can't blame them for thinking, but it's kind of funny.
But empirically speaking,
oh yeah, they're nowhere
near
can't, that level
right now. And we discussed this on last 2 podcasts, but like, you just can't touch Nixel right now. There's nobody is in the ballpark of beating them right now.
Nope,
not even close.
The closest we've seen is London and Boston just wasn't even close the last time they fought. And London still has a lot of catching up to do.
Ever since Brigitte, Boston took a dive.
I know. I feel so bad for them. They just don't know what they're doing right now.
Yep. And then London just I never know what London's problem is. It's like one thing or
for
another.
A while, well, London should be getting stronger, or they should be looking stronger now that Birdring has kind of made a good return and he's warming up again. Because Birdring, man, at the end of stage 1, I think it was pretty safe to say Birdring was like performing, at least like as of the finals and the matches leading up to that, he was like proving himself to be the best DPS in the Overwatch League. And then, you know, London had its stuff, but then I think he sat out for injury or something. But you know, so him coming back and being strong, and the team kind of more focusing on a more condensed roster should be good for them. But like I said, they still have a lot of catching up to do before they're close to Nixel, honestly. So, you know, I mean, how do you, like, I don't know what teams are gonna do. A lot of the issue too, and actually, the article that we were referencing earlier, where they interviewed Wizard Hyung and Jonak and Meko and Pine. Wizard Hyung mentioned how a lot of teams are copying Nixel, but it's not effective because they see, and I mean, this is a philosophy that's, I mean, this there's a whole reason you watch the Pro Scene for Indie Game, kind of, if you're like at least a little enlightened, right? They're copying what Nixel is doing, but it's not as effective because they just know what they're doing. They don't know why they're doing it. They know they're running this here on this specific matchup or whatever at this point in the map, but they don't know why. And the why is way more important to know. It's like the same as, like, you know, same reason you can't just watch a pro and then immediately do the same thing when you play on ladder of any game, right?
Right.
Because the most important part is, you know, you can see, oh, they did this thing and that was cool. But if you don't know why they did that and why it works, it's going to be very, very hard for you to pull it off effectively because you don't really know what you're doing still. And so they think that's one of the reasons that, you know, they're so far ahead, is because the teams got scared because they proved themselves so dominant. The teams were like, oh shit, we got to do what they're doing, but they don't know why they're doing it. There's still that they're lacking that little piece of the intel that's really critical to how everything works.
Yep. I don't know, man. I don't know what's gonna happen. Hopefully, some teams get it. Hopefully, some teams get it together. For playoffs. I mean,
yeah. I mean, as much as a Nixel fan as I am, it would be nice to see somebody actually give them a bit of a challenge, at least. You know.
My hope is that a lot of these teams, like Philly, Valiant, Boston, Outlaws, my hope is, and Gladiators, my hope is that these teams.
Yeah, don't forget about the Gladiators.
Yeah, my hope is that they're working on some really good shit behind the scenes, and they're just trying to not play everything. They're trying not to play all their cards right off the bat before playoffs. They're trying to, like, be in reserve mode almost, just barely make it, but then kind of sprint out towards the end kind of thing.
It's possible.
I doubt it.
I don't think it's that likely.
Yeah, same. But
because they're just so far behind that. Like, what is it? Even Gladiators, as good as they've been, if they lose too many matches, they just won't even make it to the overall playoffs. So they all got to be pretty much on the ball.
Well, right.
So
yeah.
if they can not drop any maps while consistently heading strats, that'd be really cool. because that would be like really good, obviously, for them. And just, but what I'm trying to get at is obviously it would mean that they're a lot better than we think, and they have this master plan like trump card on their sleeve. So it's possible. I don't think it's very likely. But speaking of getting your shit together, did you see how Effect is like
A
he
little
says
more
he's
positive.
fixed his mental?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
says he's better and he's willing to play with Dallas when they need him and stuff. So that's good for Dallas, I guess. I kind of just I don't know. I just wish if he could fix all the negative sides of Effect, which are kind of a big thing. I really wish that he would be on a different roster, just because I don't know. I just don't. We came into the Overwatch League liking Envious because they had been good and they'd been, but after how they managed the team and stuff, I just want them to clean house and like just hire up. Not necessarily with the players, but like I just don't like that team. I don't like the way they were managed. I don't like Castro as an owner anymore. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
I just don't. I don't like AKM, for instance. I respect his play. I don't. But we've talked about that before. But like, I mean, I don't have anything against him as a person either. But
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
we're on the same page.
but
on
it's
that,
just I'm not a big fan of that team, but I really would like to see how Effect would do on a team that is better. Like they could work around him better and stuff. Now, I would hate for him to go to a team that's really good and then fuck up that team because he also can't fix his mental game. But if he can actually fix his mental game, and I'm sure it would help if you're on a team that didn't have so many damn issues all the time, that would be cool to see.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know, man. A lot of stuff's going to be changing here coming up to playoffs. I think we're going to start the fight to get in, because you only got a couple weeks left, is pretty slim. Actually, what are we looking at here? So right now Houston is in 8th. Does Houston even have a chance into playoffs?
I think they still can. They barely can. I think they have to.
Wouldn't Seoul and Glad have to lose quite a few matches? Well, no. There's only a 2 differential between Glad and Houston. 2 wins and 2 losses.
Oh, here we go. Wait. Let me see if I can find it in here.
Wow. Spitfire and Valiant and Boston are equal.
Okay, Houston Outlaws are on their last lifeline. 6 games remaining. 2 losses, they're no longer in the picture. 1 loss, and they're still at risk of not making the playoffs.
For Houston.
So they can still... Yeah, Houston, at least according to Jazz J002's post on Reddit called Playoff Picture, they are still in.
Okay, well...
But barely. They're hanging on.
Yeah.
They really have to keep it together.
For Fish's sake, I hope. For Fish's sake, I hope they make it.
Are you not a Houston fan anymore?
Oh, I am. Well, I am a Houston fan, but I am first and foremost a Boston Uprising fan. So
I'm an Ixtal fan too. But dude, I'm so torn. Like when they were playing Houston versus Gladiators, I feel like I should like Houston more because I've liked them longer and stuff. But ever since Gladiators got Fissure and like just totally
you just
changed
love
their play
Fissure,
style,
man. Fissure.
I really
who's better
do.
than Fissure?
I think I like I think the Gladiators are just my second favorite team, and then.
Well, you did call them your dark horse a long time ago.
I mean, yeah, it's not really a bandwagon thing. Maybe a little bit, but not really.
Yeah.
Well, because they didn't immediately look as good as they do now when they started, and I liked them way better as soon as they got Fissure. I really like Fissure. I really like that he's so strong that he's unlocked the rest of the roster to kind of do their thing.
I can't not like a team that has Surefour on him. Can't.
Yeah, well, Surefour's gotten way better too,
Yeah.
or maybe not gotten better, but been better. And you know, like they picked up Silk Thread too, and I really like Silk Thread.
Yeah, I'm glad they got Silk
He's
Thread.
my favorite player on the Valiant.
Yeah,
and it's just, it's one of those things. I'm sitting here trying to preach. I'm not a bandwagoner, but no, like the Gladiators they're really good.
It's impossible for you to be a
cool.
bandwagoner because you're a hipster by nature.
Well, I always, like you said, I always really liked them. I didn't like them as much as the other teams, and then
you're not just.
It's not just
hipster.
a winning or losing, although maybe it looks like it on the face, but it's more just, even when they lose, I like the way they play.
Wait, what did I call
when
you?
They lost?
What did I?
When they had an OG hipster.
I called you proto hipster.
Proto hipster, yeah, but it's true. But in any case, like when they played with iRemix, they just didn't. Even when they won, they just didn't look like they didn't have a style that I really liked. With Fissure, man, like you thought Fraggy was an aggressive fucking Reinhardt, and then Reinhardt becomes meta, and Fissure's just like, yo,
I wouldn't say
I'm here.
the most aggressive. The most reckless would be Fraggy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, but he did play really aggressive before it was cool. I mean, he's like he played recklessly before it was cool. Fissure just does it a bit better, I think. But Fissure still does that. I think Gamsu is smarter, like more tactical than those two players. But I think their recklessness just ends up working more, at least now.
Gamsu's more calculated than reckless.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's definitely a more complicated calculated tank, and I think that's where Boston's strength was the honing of and the calculating of dive meta between Gamsu and Note honing in the tank line, and then
wow, so 4-0 them.
And then
I'm not surprised, but I am sad still.
Yeah, but anyways, well, good game. I feel bad for Shanghai as usual, but
yeah,
who knows? Maybe
what I really wish we could have seen is I really wish we could have seen what the Miraculous Youngsters roster.
Oh, they would have pulled games. They would have pulled games.
Like the real Miraculous Youngsters becoming the Shanghai Dragons instead of all the potentially finagling and like gerrymandering we got to make that roster what it is.
I mean, what was that cup that was played last year where it was the Korean teams versus the Chinese teams? You remember what it was called? No, it wasn't Nexus Cup. I forgot what it was called. But it was basically
it
was basically the Korean teams versus the Chinese teams, and Miraculous Nungsters. They took games.
Miraculous
Dumpsters. They took games off of Lunatic High. I think they took a game.
Yeah, they did.
Something like
I'm
that.
Pretty
I
sure
don't remember. It was they definitely won a game. Like
I'm sure they actually would have been good. And unfortunately, I think some of them have gave up on Overwatch, which with how the whole situation got treated. They were the best team, and they didn't end up as China's actual team.
Yeah,
I could totally understand why that would put a sour taste in your mouth and kind of sully you on the whole experience. But one thing I'm not against teams of wherever they're from picking up Korean players or anything. I don't have some sort of weird nationalist agenda, even for a nation that's not my own. But what I really wish we could have seen, and maybe we will in the future, is a like actually good full Chinese roster. Because, for instance, for quite a few years in League of Legends, the top Chinese teams were just importing whatever top Korean talent was willing to leave Korea to go to China for more pay, and it was good, but they always fell short. Now that in the last year or so, they've had some real strong teams come up that are full Chinese. So I think one of them that's really good has one Korean player. Well, yeah. One called Invictus Gaming. He's a Korean player, but the Chinese fans basically consider him Chinese because of how much he's integrated in that culture. Like he speaks fluent Chinese when he streams. He's always, he like actually is not just there for that money. He really enjoys like that side of it. But that's beside the point. Anyway, like RNG Royals Never Give Up actually just beat the best Korean team at MSI, the Midseason Invitational Tournament. Sorry, spoilers if anybody's hasn't found out this results and is interested in and watching this podcast, but RNG was able to beat them. And going into the tournament, Kingzone looked unstoppable, like Nixel, for instance.
Right.
But like I hope that at some point in the future we get to see what an actual full Chinese, like the best China has to offer, can compete. Because traditionally, at least in other esports, like Dota 2 China has been really good, and in League. The best full Chinese teams have generally been able to compete pretty well. Maybe not always win, but been able to go toe-to-toe at different points in time and sometimes win over the Korean teams, So, obviously, it would help with the communication side.
Yeah.
But again, it's not like I'm against Korean players going to other teams. It's just I wish that we could have seen Miraculous Youngsters, or when the Shanghai Dragons roster didn't work, that they would have found more Chinese talent to supplement the roster. I'm curious to see how that would have worked.
Yep, same here. Well, we might see it for season 2.
It couldn't have worked worse. It couldn't have worked worse than it is now, since technically,
and 35
because they still haven't won a match. So I guess they could have looked not as strong, losing, everything, but that's like one of those. Can you really look? Well, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
that would have been really cool. I hope that's a thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get like another team from China in the future, and they'll do that, or maybe Shanghai will do that at some
That's
point.
the dream, man.
I mean, it took a long time for China in League of Legends to learn the kind of lesson that
Well,
just because the best Koreans were available didn't
I was
mean
gonna
they were
say,
be the best fit for their team.
this is the inaugural season of a brand new esport that's actually trying to shake up the way things are done. So it's gonna take a little bit for people, players, countries, regions, sponsors. It's gonna take a while for everybody to adjust. So
I think it's funny as it is in any other walk of life when something's new and trying to shake stuff up, but you still see them fall into the same traps and pitfalls that their predecessors have before them.
Humans are
just like I've seen it before.
Humans are dumb little creatures, man.
Uh-huh.
But super smart and intelligent at the same time. I don't understand. We're odd.
Yeah.
We should have a philosophical podcast, man. Just sit here and talk about life, bro.
A Phyllis Sock-off.
A Philly sock off concept. A Philly
sock.
A Philly sock. A Philly sock podcast.
A fleece sock.
A fleece sock podcast. Ooh, I like that.
Rock out with your socks out.
Rock out with sock out. Ooh. All right, well, so Seoul Dynasty 1 beat Shanghai Dragons. We're rolling into...
really?
Yeah, no, really. Or rolling into Valiant versus Gladiators here in a little bit, which is going to be a good match.
We've been going on longer than an hour now, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm just beat, exhausted. I had a really long day at work today, and I got another long day tomorrow. So I'm probably going to need to get some rest, and I know you got to get on with your things. But anyways... So I think this is where we're gonna wrap it up.
Oh fucking hell!
What?
Come on, Golden Knights. It's 3-2. The Caps are up 1.
What? What'd you just say?
Hockey. The Stanley Cup Finals.
For some odd reason, I was thinking
Golden
you were
Knights,
trying to say Golden State Warriors, and I was like, dude, they're going to the. It's.
No.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
Come
no,
on.
It's not in the... I'm watching the Knights game.
Tiz called that too. Warriors, Cavs. Or Warriors, Cleveland. Yeah, Cavs. Yeah.
I knew the Warriors were going to be there. I was hoping the Celtics would win, but I knew from the start
Larry
of the playoffs
Bird.
that the Warriors... Yeah. Well, unfortunately for Boston, I really do think that they would have beaten the Cavs pretty handily if Kyrie Irving wasn't injured. And it's not just because, Kyrie Irving's so good, but it's because the Cavs were really good because of LeBron's offense, but their defensive game actually wasn't that good for most of the ones even that they won. But a lot of the younger players in Boston, they needed a more linchpin style player that could put it on his shoulders to break through that poor defense and just offensively go off. And Kyrie Irving more than likely would have been that player for them, but unfortunately for them, he was out.
Unless your team play is like rock solid, something like Spurs or whatnot, you really do need a star player to help kind of to fight something like LeBron. LeBron's a monster.
Mm-hmm.
So. Mm-hmm. But anyways, all right. So we're gonna go ahead and end the podcast here. But thank you, each and every one of you that are listening to this podcast. Truly,
and there's more than one of you.
There's more than one of you, and it's great. I personally love doing this, and I know Vox enjoys it too.
Great group of guys.
Great. I forgot about that video.
Do you know the guy who made that video is on SNL now?
Is he really?
And it has been for a while. Yeah, Kyle Mooney.
Wow, he's funny. Yeah. He's really funny.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah, those videos are great.
But no, we appreciate you guys listening to us. Even though we're rambling and goofing around, it's fun. I have a lot of fun doing this.
Yeah.
I don't.
If we went too off topic from Overwatch this time, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, let us know if you don't like us goofing around talking about other shit. We might ignore your opinion, but it'd be nice to know if you don't like this.
Don't tell me you ignore it.
No, I said we.
Then why would
we might. I don't know.
No one listens to me anyway.
No, we're gonna I'm very interested in hearing anybody else's opinion, but
yeah.
I also do enjoy the relaxed nature of this, so I definitely want to keep that intact. That's for sure. Because that's the way you and I are. We're relaxed people, unless we get fired up about a topic, and then we get really unrelaxed, or de-relaxed, disrelaxed.
Yeah. My butthole gets all clenched.
Really tight. Anyways, all right.
You could probably put coal in there and a diamond would come out.
All right, anyways, thank you guys for listening. We will be back next week with another episode. I don't know if we're going to continue doing this Wednesday thing or if we're going to go back to weekends at some point. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to go back to like Mondays.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think I prefer Mondays more than Mondays or Tuesdays. I think I prefer more than
Wednesdays
than Sunday. And Wednesdays hasn't been bad because we can kind of. I mean, this time we pretty much just ignored the game that was going on. The other ones we actually talked about it more.
Yeah,
but
well,
you know.
It's an evolving process. Leave your feedback. But anyways, as always, you can find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube. We are also on Twitter and Facebook. Leave us your feedback. Smash that like button. And and
don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. At some point in time, we're going to get a special guest here. We're going to get a guest on this show. And at some other point in time, we're also going to do a...
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I also plan...
I feel bad.
I also plan on doing a raffle at some point, too.
A raffle?
A ruffle.
What are we going to give away?
A bag of ruffles.
A bag of ruffles? Raffle for the ruffles?
We're going to call it Raffle for Ruffles.
We're going to... what about a duffel bag full of ruffles?
A duffel?
A raffle for the
A
duffel.
raffle for a duffel full of ruffles.
Raffle for the duffel ruffle.
Raffle...
The ruffle duffel. No, the ruffle duffel.
The ruffle...
Raffle for the
no,
ruffle
the ruffle duffel raffle.
Yeah, ruffle duffel raffle.
And then, but then it'll be...
Razzmatazz extravaganza.
It'll cause you to raffle, roll on the floor laughing. A ruffle... A duffel...
Raffle. It's the ruffle duffel raffle.
Raffle?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Raffle. It's the ruffle raffle. Ruffle.
Duffel. No, it's the
Duffel.
duffel, ruffle, raffle.
Darn did confuse myself.
Raffle. Okay, all right. Anyways, we're done now. Thank you everybody for listening, and we will see you next week. Later.
Yep. Goodbye. Ow.